What if I told you that one cold night on a train platform turned an ordinary man into one of the greatest revolutionaries the world has ever seen? That a single act of racism didn't just humiliate him, it ignited the fire that would shake empires, topple colonial rules, and inspire movements across the globe. This is not just history, this is a story of how one man, without an army or a gun, took down an empire, starting from the dusty streets of South Africa to the souls of India. This is a story of Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, a man who left India as a lawyer and returned as a revolutionary force. It was 1893. A young Gandhi stepped into South African soil as a fresh-faced lawyer with a promising career ahead. But destiny had other plans. One evening, while traveling by train to Pretoria, he was forcibly removed from the first-class compartment despite holding a valid ticket bought from his own money simply because he was Indian. As he sat in the cold of Pietermaritzburg station, humiliated but determined, a fire was lit but something was burning within him. This wasn't just about his rights, it was about justice for all. Gandhi had come to South Africa for work, but he stayed for a cause. The discrimination against Indians was severe. Past laws restricted their movement. Racial prejudice was institutionalized. Instead of Gandhi accepting this fate, Gandhi chose to fight. He organized protests, launched petitions, and led campaigns against unjust laws. His strategy, Satyagraha, a philosophy of non-violent resistance. When the South African government imposed law requiring all Indians to carry registration passes, Gandhi led a massive defiance movement. Thousands burned their passes in defiance, and many, including Gandhi, were jailed. His resilience forced authorities to negotiate, leading to some improvements in rights for Indians in South Africa. 21 years of activism in South Africa, Gandhi returned to India in 1915, not just as a lawyer, but stepped out as a leader. He traveled across the country, witnessing the suffering of poor under British colonial rule. He realized that the struggle he had fought in South Africa was only a small part of a much larger battle. Gandhi led the fight against British rule through non-violent resistance. He led certain movements. Let's start with the Karamchand movements that were led in 1917 to 1918. He helped farmers fight against oppressive taxes. Non-cooperation movement from 1920 to 1922. Millions boycotted British goods, schools and institutions. And then the Salt March, which had a very, very big impact. It was a dramatic act of defiance. He marched 240 miles with a group of people, women and children, to the sea to produce salt, defying British monopoly laws, arrests and brutal crackdowns. Now, becoming a legend, by the time India gained independence in 1947, Gandhi had become more than just a leader. He was a symbol of peace, resistance and moral courage. His philosophy of non-violence inspired movements worldwide. And in the US to anti-apartheid struggles in South Africa. Tragically, in 1948, he was assassinated, but his legacy would live on. He had entered South Africa as an unknown lawyer and returned to India as the father of the nations. He was more than just a man, but a movement. Gandhi's journey to South Africa from India was more than just a physical. It was transformational, from an ordinary man to a global icon. His non-violent approach changed the world, proving that resistance doesn't always require weapons, but just courage, conviction, and the belief in justice. And so, the question remains, what injustices around you need resistance today? And how will you stand up against them like Gandhi?